Okay, so in this example, I have a macro that actually takes each of the sheets in your workbook and lays them out in dashboard fashion, as you can see here. And this is the result of what you're going to get. But this is these are the worksheets that would go into it. So what this macro is going to do is take a screenshot of each one of these worksheets and resize them, do a bunch of things, and ultimately then assemble them as a dashboard. And just so you know, here's the code. So when you're doing this on your own, just open up this file and go ahead and copy, or do what I'm about to show you here, copy this code into your personal macro workbook, and then it's going to be available for any file that you open and want to create a dashboard for. Now if you take a look at this, it's pretty extensive. I mean, look at all the lines of code. All of that just to take any number of worksheets and assemble them, as I said, as a dashboard onto the final thing there. So what I'm going to do first of all then is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, just to show you that it really does work. Alright, so first thing we need to do is go over into the code area. There we go. And we're going to take all those lines of code and copy them into the VBA window there. So we start from here and just kind of select this whole range all the way down to the bottom there. And then we'll do a right click on it and hit copy. There we go. Next step, I'm going to go ahead and hit the alternate F11. That'll open up the VBA window, and we go down to our personal macro workbook area. And if you don't already have a module in here, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can, why not have a clean screen here? But if you've already got a module, you can go ahead and paste it into that window. But we're going to assume that you don't. So the way we would do this is just do a right click anywhere up here, click on insert, click on a module, and there's your module. And that's, so what you see there is what's over here. So then over here, I'll just do a right click and paste it right in there. And there is all the code. There's actually a number of macros in there. So one triggers the next, triggers the next. It's a pretty wild macro here. So anyway, so once we've got that in there, we just go ahead and just close that up just like that. And then go ahead and run it. So we'll go back. It really doesn't matter what sheet you're on. What we'll do is, I think maybe before we run it, instead of just running it by going, like we've been doing before, by clicking on the view, click on the macros, view macros, and that would be the macro right there that we're going to run. Instead of doing that, what we'll do instead is we'll put up on the quick access toolbar, and we can just trigger it from there instead of having to go through all those steps. So to get it up there, we just click on to the custom button there, go down to where it says more commands, all right? And then, and this is for the quick access toolbar, we will change this to list out all of our macros that we have, and that's the one right there. So these two are like, these two macros here kind of get triggered automatically as this primary macro runs, so don't bother with those. So I just take that one, double click it, puts it over on the right hand side. While it's selected, I can click on a modify. If I want to give it a different picture, which you probably would, you just click onto one. So I'll go with Mr. Happy here and go ahead and hit OK. There it is. Hit OK, and that's it. So now when I want to run the macro, all I have to do, as I said, you can be anywhere you want. Go ahead and we click on to our little shortcut here. Click it, and bingo, there it is. And that's pretty cool. And if you maybe later on add a couple more sheets in there, what you can do then is you can go ahead and you can just rerun the macro and it kind of just, in essence, kind of refreshes the whole thing. So it's pretty cool. You don't have to go down there and delete it. You just go ahead and just rerun it, and off it goes. So pretty powerful little deal there. If your whole idea is to learn more about macros and really have like a good example of how, of code that does something pretty wild, this is the one that you might want to study. So and you got some time, just kind of take a look at what you've got here and what's going on. But this is a pretty wild one here, as I said. Lots of code. You just can't imagine all of that code just to create this thing here, right? But again, it doesn't really matter how many worksheets you have. Each one will be an independent thumbnail, so it's pretty nice. And speaking of learning, more about code, and this is a real simple little thing to start with, but you'll notice that we have 3 columns in here, right? So what if you wanted just 2 columns, or what if you wanted 4 columns? How would you, where would you even begin to change the code, right? So let me just show you something here. If we look at the code itself, all right, you'll notice towards the beginning here we have something that says construct, one column basically as long equal 3. So basically it's talking about creating 3 separate, columns, going across. That's where that's happening. So if you wanted maybe to have 4 columns or 2 columns instead, you would have to just change that one little number right there. That's how powerful this code is, that one little thing, major change there, right? So I'm going to show you how this would work. I'll just go in and I'll hit my alternate F11, get back into the code, and get over here to where it says number 3, and I'll just backspace that and change it to number 4. That's all I got to do. I'll close that up, all right? And now I'll show you what we had so far. So that's what we have right now, right? Just the 3 columns, right? So now I go ahead and I just go ahead and tell it to run the macro, and bingo. So now if I scroll over there, then you'll see a 4th column. Ooh. What if you wanted 2 columns, right? Well, in that case, what we're going to do is go back and do the alternate F11. Change this to 2 now, just the number 2 there, right? Close it up, and then we'll go ahead and it could be anywhere you want to be. Go ahead and run this, and we get a little error, okay? And of course you would do this on your own, going, oh my God, I really screwed things up. Well, here's what we're going to do. The problem is that because we had 4 columns and now we want to go back down to 2 columns. It's okay if we expanded it, in this case from 3 to 4. But when we want to go from, let's say, 4 down to 3 or 2, it gets kind of messed up already having, the dashboard worksheet there. So what we'll do is I'll just say end. I just stop, all right? I'll go back over here to the gallery, do a right click, delete it, all right? And now it could be anywhere I want to be. Go ahead and we'll run the macro, and voila, there's your 2. And you say, oh, I want 3 now, Chip. Okay. So we'll hit alternate F11, all right? Now we can change this to 3 and not have any trouble because it's expanding, all right? So we'll take that, we'll close that up, all right? And I'll go ahead and run the macro again, and voila, pretty cool. All right, so hopefully this is something that you all can use. I know in my regular classes that I've taught for years, when I show people this macro, it's like they go wild over. It's a great little presentation tool. I mean, it beats you going in there and having to make screenshots of each one of these things and have to work it from that way. And the other little thing too, I just want to mention this too, is that each of these thumbnails, for each of your worksheets, has that little green bar down there, which of course you could find the color for and change that if you wanted to as well in the macro, right? But my point is that these are all hyperlinks. So that means I can go here to, let's see, the trend one here, and the trend one would be this guy right here. So it picks up on the names of those tabs. So just go back here and click on a trend, and there's the trend one. All right. The macro doesn't create like a little link that goes back to the beginning, so you've got to go back yourself. I'll go ahead and click on to, let's say, customer, and there's the customer sheet that it goes to. All right, that's it. I think that should give you enough to start working with, but I appreciate you watching the video, and hope you watch the rest of them. This is good stuff here. All right, take care.